You all loved my easy fondant hairstyle tutorial. It's been one of my most popular videos on my channel and I know exactly why. Hair is the #1 thing I see people struggle with in my classes and in the Ultimate Modelling Masterclass. Most don't know where to start and they end up crushing the face, making weird zigzag streaks and squashing the neck in the process. But that will not be the case after you watch through this new fondant hair series. I'm Christina Giorgio and I help cake makers create fondant figures easily by breaking things down into very small, clear steps that actually make sense. In this brand new hair series, I'm going to walk you through the exact problems I know that you're facing and show you how I've helped my students fix them and get amazing results every time. But before we dive in, you'll need something to practice on, and that's where the mannequin heads come in. I've created a printable template and step-by-step guide to help you sculpt your own in minutes. The link is in the description. Grab it after the video so you can make a few little heads ready to style with me in the next tutorials. So let's talk about some of the struggles that I know you've been facing. First, you're probably putting too much pressure when adding the hair and squashing your facial features or squashing the neck down. Here's a tip so you can avoid that. Always make the body and the neck first and leave it to dry, and make the head last. Leave it on a non-stick board with facing upwards so the face dry out with the air, but underneath still stays soft enough to attach it to the body later. Second, you might be using the wrong paste and therefore it doesn't hold its shape and it cracks and flops all over the place. It's all about using the right modelling paste. You'll find a full breakdown of the paste in the download I mentioned and in the video coming up here. It's definitely worth watching later. But for the hair, no matter the brand, you must work the paste really well. It needs to be much softer than it typically would when you're making the rest of the figure. It just gives you a lot more time to work with it and manipulate it. Also, do not roll out your paste too thin and too large. It will flop all over the place. You'll get yourself in a mess and you'll be cutting bits off. Let me show you the exact thickness that you'll need. Most of the time when people make the hair, they take a really big piece of paste, roll it up and then roll it out like this. Especially if they're doing long hair, roll it really big like this and then try to attach it to a head. Now, what are you doing with this? This is the problem. Where's all this going? Also, it's so thin and big, it just flops everywhere. That's not going to help you out. Most of the time they start trimming everything off and then you get really horrible edges. So whichever way you look at it, this is just too much in your hand to work with. So also when you roll it thin, it just flops. It doesn't hold its shape. The best way to do it is take half of that. You really do not need a lot, even if the hair was long. So as a guide, you could take the same weight as your head, roll that into a ball, and then roll it out like this. Now, it's really important that you keep this thicker. Look at the difference when I have it at this thickness. When I move it, it doesn't flop around all over the place, it holds its shape. Also, if I wanted to create some little movements in it, it would stay there. Now, I know this isn't as attractive, all this thick part, but what you could do is just pinch the end like this. Just pinch around so it appears really fine on the edge and then manipulate it and move it where you want and you have full control over it. So if we were going to add it to the head at this point, you can bring the hair up to here. Clipper scissors are the best because then you can just cut and then it joins the paste together. And that can actually be where your parting is. So now you've got thick paste onto your head. And if you do want it longer than this, all you do is, because it's so thick, you can press it and tease it wherever you want it to go, bring it longer, and create movement. Third, you're not creating a foundational base. Without that, you spend ages filling in gaps between your hair streaks. Every hairstyle needs a strong base, whether it's an up hairdo or a down one, but I'll walk through all of that in the next videos as you follow along. Fourth, your streaks look really chunky and unnatural. So many people put the hair texture in and crisscross it over, and it just doesn't look right. Let me show you exactly how I do that using my favorite tool, which is the peach plastic knife tool. To add streaks in the hair, you want to use a plastic knife tool. Now, I love this one because it's super fine here and the back of it is thick and then goes thinner, unlike most other knife tools. So you can really get some great streaks and fabric lines with this tool. Now, here's the common problem most people do. They go down like this, press really lightly, or just cross it over, which looks so awful. What you do is always go in this one direction. Now you can swerve around, but you should never cross over because that's when it looks really naff. Let's chuck that away. We don't want to do that. So you want to press in quite deep. Let me just do your first streak. Look how deep that is. It's almost cutting through the paste. And do you know what? It doesn't even matter if you do cut through the paste. You can just tap it down and it will reseal. Now you don't have to go all the way down. You can go half the way down, start again there in the middle. In fact, it's better because if you keep doing this all the way down, it looks really set. And when I mean by set, because I say that a lot in my videos, I mean it looks staged. It's like all lined up perfectly. And that's not how hair is. So you could just go back in and go halfway on that. Do them tight together if you want a lot of detail. But if you don't, you can actually use the back and almost put your knife tool to the side and do this kind of look. You don't have to do it like that. If you do, I quite like it like this. Then you're gonna go around. You see, I haven't crossed over here. I've been really careful to make sure. I'm gonna go round and then come all the way down. I might just do a bit in there. So you can do these much wider apart if you want to be quicker. Sometimes I just go for it and then just fill in the gaps wherever I think needs it. Now, I really don't like this block of paste at the bottom. It looks so cut off. So what I do is I like to just go in at the bottom. Do not worry if you cut round and then you do things like that. That's absolutely fine. Because what we can do is when we wrap this around the head, these bits would come to the front, whereas this would come to the back. And in fact, you can do this. See here, you just want to make sure that you leave it at a point. If I wanted to cut another one of these in, I'd cut like that. And if I wanted to cut one in here, I'd struggle because this is quite square. So you could cut a little bit that way and cut it to a point. But you don't need to do too much of that at the start, unless you're bringing it off to make curls. I'm going to show you in the following series. So that's kind of your base, that's your foundation. Now, sometimes when you put this on the head, you're going to see this bit at the front. So what I do is I turn it over and I put some little lines just in your front pieces as well. So from the front, it just doesn't look plain, because that can look a little bit weird. And you won't know until you get to the end of your hairdo, which is never fun. I'm just going to pop it on, bring it to the top, use your scissors. So I'm going to pop that down right now. These are the bits that you add to the hair. Now, this is really important. You want to come down in this direction. What you do not want to do is, you do not want to do what most people do, and they do this. I'm going to do my first streak down the middle, and you always want to come to this point as best as you can. Whereas so many people just do this. Now this looks awful. All you have done is given her so many split ends. The only place you could put this would be almost like on the front of the face as if it was feathered. But even then it looks messy and you should add streaks. There is no place for this ever. See, if you put it on the back of her head, it just looks like ripped hair. So the way you can get around that is you do streaks and you always, as best as you can, come down to this point. You're gonna see the difference now. So your hair streak is like this. If you add streaks to her hair like this, it looks so much nicer and you can create movement. And she doesn't look like she has loads of split ends. All of the hairstyle videos in this series are going to be in real time, so you can follow along with me and create. So download your free 4-part video series, grab your template, make your mannequins' heads, and meet me in the next video. We're gonna make our first hairstyle together, step by step, and I promise your results will be amazing. Cannot wait to see what you create.